When we think about investments or investing, there is only one man who crosses our minds. He's widely recognised as the best ever. He is the pinnacle of finance and of the investment business. He's worth over $85 billion and he's one of the richest men in the world. A man people turn to when they need guidance, views and encouragement. He is the Oracle of Omaha. He is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett was born on the 30th of August 1930. His father was Congressman Howard Buffet, so he grew up in a middle-class family. And from a young age, Warren Buffett focused on business and had spent a lot of time learning the basics of investing. He wasn't afraid to work hard for his money, and as a young child, he would sell gum and Coca-Cola to people in his neighbourhood. At the age of 11, Warren bought his first shares in a company called City Service. He then studied at Wharton and at the University of Nebraska, and then moved on to graduate studies at Columbia Business School. And that's where he focused on the value investing strategy under the guidance of Benjamin Graham. Now, Graham had been a pioneer in value investing and had a very significant influence on Warren Buffett. And Warren described this type of strategy in the following way. The basic ideas of investing are to look at stocks as business, use the market's fluctuations to your advantage, and seek a margin of safety. And that's what Ben Graham taught us. 100 years from now, they'll still be the cornerstones of investing. After a few business ventures, Warren Buffett acquired textile manufacturing firm Berkshire Hathaway, which became the investment vehicle he would use for decades, and that remains his main investment vehicle even now. An important moment occurred in 1978, when Charlie Munger joined Warren Buffett, and the two have been inseparable since. And we have a great video on Charlie Munger on our channel, and you should all check it out. But now back to our story. So Warren has been in the middle of many complex matters, including the Solomon scandal, where a rogue trader was breaking the Treasury rules, which led to the firing of Solomon's CEO, and of Warren Buffett taking the chairman role at that company. And Warren Buffett also provided financing to Goldman Sachs during the financial crisis, and his decision to invest in that company was viewed by many as one of the actions that stopped the run on that bank that everyone feared would happen. But alongside these tricky investments, Warren Buffett has had massively successful investments in companies like Coca-Cola and IBM, and has more recently become a big shareholder of Apple. Warren Buffett has also invested a lot in the newspaper business by acquiring Media General. Media General owns 63 newspapers in the southeast area of the United States. Although a great investor himself, Warren Buffett has often encouraged regular people to invest in index funds because he thinks they are a good way to manage and create wealth if you're not so eager to manage your own money actively. Now, Warren Buffett has often criticised active investment managers since they often make their own interests prevail over the interests of their clients. And Buffett indicated that most active money managers would underperform the S&P 500 index. And he was right on that bet. Now, Warren loves to educate the public and his shareholders, and the annual general meeting of Berkshire Hathaway has become widely attended and covered event in which Warren and his partner Charlie Munger discuss the performance of the business that they run, but also broadly talk about markets, principles and events that have occurred in the world. It's a long event that must take a toll on the two gentlemen, who are getting a little bit older in age now, but their dedication to their crowd of fans and their stoic commitment not to letting their shareholders down speaks of their commitment and integrity. And at some point, we fear that it will get a little bit harder for both of them to run these types of events, but that will be a very sad day for all finance geeks and fans of Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. During his numerous public presentations, interviews and events, Warren Buffett has had some incredibly impactful and memorable punchlines, similarly to what his friend Charlie Munger has done. As usual, we'll share the most well-known quotes of Warren Buffett after this video, so do stick with the video until the very end. But on a personal level, Warren Buffett has been married twice. First to Susan Thompson, who died in 2004, and then with Astrid Menks in 2006, whom had been his partner for a very long time. Now, Warren Buffett has 3 children. And he loves to play cards like his friend Charlie Munger, and of course he's an avid bridge player. He admitted to playing via computer many hours a week. He also has an encyclopedic knowledge of sports stats and is able to recall many sports metrics just by heart. He also uses the world of sports for some of his metaphors. And one of my personal favourites is this one. The trick in investing is just to sit there and watch pitch after pitch go by and wait for the one right in your sweet spot. And if people are yelling, "Swing, you bum," ignore them. Warren Buffett has always given a lot of money to philanthropic causes, and he's followed Bill Gates in signing up to the Giving Pledge, under which wealthy individuals pledge to give away 99% of their wealth to charity. Now, interestingly, Warren, like many very wealthy people, lives a simple life and has not changed much of his lifestyle as a result of his immense wealth. And as an example, he still lives in the same house he bought in 1957 and spends less than $5 for breakfast every morning. And here's a pic. Nice house, but certainly not like the house of a billionaire. Now, one of the anecdotes that tells you how his wealth has ultimately bought him his freedom is when he shows his calendar to people. Many of them notice that there are loads of blank pages. And Warren confirms that that is precisely a sign of wealth, being able to be in control of your time. And as a wise man once said, money can't buy you time. He also makes it a point not to own a cell phone and not to really use a computer. And a few famous descriptions of the events that went down during the financial crisis, where many people wanted to reach Warren Buffett. It's striking how they were calling his landline. He was often in the middle of spending time with his grandchildren, as you'd expect a regular granddad to be doing. However, this image of a sweet old grandpa isn't quite an accurate image of Warren Buffett. People who've seen him in action say he's incredibly sharp, goes straight to the heart of matters, and is very determined and focused on the outcomes that matter to him. Not too surprising given how successful Warren has been while swimming in a pool with the biggest sharks in finance. Warren Buffett is a fascinating celebrity in the world of finance, and many books have been written about him. I believe we're close to 50 up to this point, and his personal favourite is a book called The Essays of Warren Buffett, which organises the annual letters that he sends to the shareholders of Berkshire Hathaway. But that's it for now, folks, and I'll leave you to the most beautiful quotes of Warren Buffett. However, one thing I really want to ask you to do is to like this video if you enjoyed it, and do subscribe to our channel and comment below. And tell us what other videos you'd like to see, and let us hear your thoughts. We're always interested to hear them. So thanks a lot in advance, and we'll see you all very soon. We simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy, and to be greedy only when others are fearful. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. Someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Beware of geeks bearing formulas. I always knew I was going to be rich. I don't think I ever doubted it for a minute. It's only when the tide goes out that you discover who's been swimming naked. Our favourite holding period is forever. Be broken.